Just need to know where to look.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's not right?
It's about 2 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
You got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to call to order the March 26th Elkhart Community Schools Board of School Trustees regular meeting. If you'd please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and
Thank you. Mike, the Elkhart Promise, please.
The Elkhart Promise. Every student is known by name, challenged and supported by highly effective staff, and in partnership with the community, will graduate career, college ready, and life ready.
Thank you, Mike. I want to go over our invitation to speak protocol. I think Dora has you may speak about any agenda item at the time it is discussed, following the board comments. Non-agenda items may be discussed at the end of the meeting to show your interest and intent to speak concerning a topic on the agenda. Actually, we did change that, didn't we? Sorry. Pardon me, we changed it. I guess I have an old one. So the agenda items will be heard after I give this explanation of the invitation to speak protocol. You have 3 minutes to come up and speak into the microphone. During this time, you can speak on any non-agenda item or any agenda item that you came here to discuss. We feel it's important that if you took the time to show up today, we want to hear you, and we want to hear you in the beginning of the meeting so we understand the position or concerns that you may have. I will tell you that if it involves a staff or personnel issue or a student, we would request that you do not address those issues at this time, that we have a protocol in place that we would like for you to follow. It's an actionable protocol that we can make sure that you are heard. And that is one thing that we want to make sure that everybody is heard at this meeting. So that is the protocol. And if we have anybody now at this time that would like to speak on an agenda item, the floor is open. Please come to the microphone.
All right. Sorry, I was just listening. So this is just for the agenda items, right?
Correct.
Okay. So on the agenda item, you guys have the policy for the public comments and concerns. which this is the second reading. I addressed it like a month ago. So overlooking it, and I talked to Doug today. So we've got some things out, but there was something still just bugging me about it. Three things. The first one is, in this, you have library materials. You already have a procedure on library materials, and now you're making it a policy, but you're including it in a policy that isn't necessarily along the lines of a library procedure. So there's three things. There's policy, procedure, and process. Okay. You guys are trying to do a policy. So on top of that, if you read the start of your policy, the beginning is fine for a policy. But I went back today and I read your board policies under the 9,000 relations. None of them had procedure protocols in them. So if you go back after like the first paragraph, it actually says you will follow this procedure. So now you're entwining policy and procedure into one for your board policy. In my opinion, it should be policy, and then the superintendent should make a procedure, an administrative procedure. I was looking at this. I could not find the administrative procedures online. I looked for like 30 minutes. It used to be there in my 15 years. I've seen it before. Can't find it now, so maybe it's been changed. But in my opinion, you're encompassing 3 different items in one item. This is not a political bill that you can just squeeze things in, and I feel like that's what's happening. And then also, I'm still leery with how this is going to affect. I know you guys are looking out for the school system. I'm not looking out for my children. I have 1 more year of this, so it doesn't matter. I'm looking out for the public and the kids that this is going to follow. And I see some issues possibly down the road. I feel like this couldn't even more be a process that you put on your website, explain to families. I mean, if you want to make it a policy, fine. If you want to make it a procedure, fine. But I think you need to separate them. Thank you.
We have any other public comment on an agenda item tonight? Seeing none, we will move on from public comment and move into the excellence of Elkhart, and Aaron Wagler, Director of Communications.
The right arrow?
You have to use the arrows to do it.
Okay. All right, President Scott, members of the board, Dr. Huff, thanks for inviting me tonight to talk. And I'm excited to be able to share this, as this will be an ongoing presentation at each of the board meetings. So there's so many wonderful things that are happening in our schools, and to be able to highlight those and be able to share those, I'm really excited about that. I'm 2 months in my tenure here, and so I am learning a lot, and I'm really proud of what the students and the teachers are doing in the schools. So I want to share with you some excellence of Elkhart with our academics, arts, and athletics. For our academics, last week we had 1,200 mock interviews with 900 students at our Career Center, which is huge. I got to sit in on a couple of those interviews, and that was really fun. I was really impressed with the quality of students that we have. But we are the leading career center in the state of Indiana. Also last week, 400 students attended Ag Day. We had 5th graders all across the district that went to the Elkhart County 4-H Fair for an educational field trip. Also, once again, Elkhart Schools is home to the leading K-12 ag program in the state of Indiana. And this week, we also are in the championship round of our district reading initiative. Elkhart builds readers, dreamers, and inspiring leaders. And this is for our primary and intermediate schools all across the district. They're all reading the same books and voting on them kind of in a March Madness type bracket. And this is a way for them to be able to have fun as they are improving their literacy. In the areas of arts, and I do want to point out, we are we are having some billboards that will be going up around the city. So these are some samples of some of those billboards. So keep your eye out for those. We've got some great photos of some great students across our district. So this past weekend, musicians from Elkhart High School Symphony Orchestra got to combine with the Elkhart County Symphony in the Symphonic Horizons concert. Also, our Winter Color Guard placed 5th at state. And we have students that are continuing to receive gold ratings in vocal and instrumental at ISMA state competitions. And in our athletics, Eastwood Elementary won the 2024 Elementary Girls Basketball Championship. One of the things that I've found that's really unique about Elkhart is that we've been funding competitive elementary athletic programs for decades. This isn't new for some schools in the area, and they don't do all of the grades. It is something that has been historic and long-standing in our area. But the goal is not only to work with athletes, but also to get into the classroom of every fifth and sixth grade classroom and teach about character development. They want to teach about sportsmanship, work ethic, what is dedication, what is commitment, and that's part of the Elkhart Promise to get the students life ready. And so these are lessons that are being taught not only to our athletes, but throughout the classrooms so that they can apply that to their life. Also in athletics, we had a national championship for the NCAA Division II in wrestling. Christian is an alum from Elkhart Schools. And then last, we are starting our spring sports. So feel free to go to our website. We have the schedules on there. We've got baseball, lacrosse, track and field. Come out and enjoy some of the events that we've got going on. Future happenings, we've got a lot going on. These are just really quick synopses. So we are hosting another solar eclipse presentation this Thursday at 6:30 in the ETI. We have our very own Dan Walsh. He is a science teacher at the high school. He was named the NASA Solar Eclipse Partner Ambassador, and he'll be leading a presentation. This is the second presentation. We've already done one for our Elkhart Schools families. This presentation will be open to the public, and so we've been marketing that to the public as well. There will be free solar glasses given away. There are kids' activities. And we also have kids' activities on our website. So if parents are at home and they want to do something with their families to learn about the solar eclipse, they can go to our website. And we put those on there with the help of Dan and NASA. Next up, we have Kindergarten Roundup, April 11th from 6 to 7. This is an opportunity for kindergartners to meet their teachers, tour schools, ask questions. So we're getting ready for this coming school year. Another thing that I found that I did not know about before I came to Elkhart Schools is that we have field trips in the summer where students can earn 1 science credit. And this is not just for Elkhart students. This is open to students throughout Michiana. And I've got kids of my own, and that was something that I think that they will be very, very interested in. The 2 programs that we have in the summer, we have a trip that is a marine biology trip visiting New England coast from Massachusetts through Bar Harbor, Maine. And then the second trip is a 14-day field experience with earth science, and it's a trip to Colorado, and we have 2 of those going on. So those are open to 9th through 12th graders throughout the community. And then last, we have a disability resource fair coming up on Saturday the 13th. At the freshman division from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is in conjunction with the Unified Track Meet, but it's an opportunity for families to be able to get some resources that will help family members with disabilities. We're going to have guest speakers, presentations, demonstrations, and then there are also activities that they'll be able to do as well, and we have that on our Facebook page. So as always, please follow our social media pages, follow the school's pages. We post daily on all of those about other things, promoting the excellence of Elkhart Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron, for the excellence of Elkhart. It's a mouthful when you put your name in front of it or behind it. So I will work harder for next board meeting to get it right.
Couple of comments to tie in with that. The main trip, both my daughters had taken that in high school and stuff like that, and that was excellent and huge. I mean, that's a secret almost within, school corporations that do that kind of adventure. And it truly is an adventure, and the kids made a lot of good friends. The other thing you were talking about, athletes, Brooks Barnheiser was in the paper. He plays for Northwestern, and I think they got through the first round, and he was an elementary student here back in 2011, 2012 and stuff like that. And, just a little guy. And I don't know if he made it to middle school here. And then his dad was Barnheiser coach at the time when they went off to West Lafayette, I think, at the time. But anyhow, another alum of our grade schools that are playing Division I ball out there. So we do have talent within our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Next on the agenda is a moment of pride. Elena Mendoza.
Hi,
Hello.
my name is Elena Mendoza. Thank you for this opportunity to come out here and talk about the pride of Elkhart. Some recent events and news that we have going on. So our Elkhart Community Schools chess teams just competed at state this past weekend. Those schools were EHS, West Side, North Side, Mary Daly, Roosevelt, and Feezer. The Symphony Orchestra had the chance to play with the Elkhart County Symphony Orchestra this weekend, and that was a great opportunity for them. Some other events, we just had our EHS blood drive. We have an annual student government blood drive, and we collected 69 units of blood, saving 207 lives. So that's pretty cool. NHS will be inducting their new students Sunday, April 21st, 2024. FBLA, which is our Future Business Leaders of America, they had their state conference, and 8 Lions qualified for nationals, and they had a lot of achievements. One thing that I wanted to bring up was how well dismissal and the 311 dismissal is working at EHS. According to Mr. Anderson, EHS has experienced a lot of success with the 3:11 and 3:45 p.m. dismissal procedures. Examples include improvement in behavior in the hallways and grades. Overall, dismissal goes way smoother. And one thing that I wanted to really highlight, I'm a part of Elkhart Cheerleading. I'm one of Elkhart Cheerleading's captains. I've been a cheerleader for Elkhart since elementary school, and then I've worked my way up all the way into high school. I'm now committed to cheer in Nashville, Tennessee. So Elkhart Cheerleading really helped shape me into being able to get these opportunities. So this year we had one of our most successful seasons yet. We placed first at the UCA Hoosier Regional, allowing us to receive a bid to UCA Nationals at the ESPN Center in Orlando. In Orlando, we ended up taking 8th place out of 30 teams in our division and missed moving on only by 0.2 of a point. Our team worked extremely hard to be able to make it that far and was also the best we've ever done. Not only do we work hard to compete, we also work very hard to be leaders in our community. We strive to be present at ECS events, being at Riverview Elementary to welcome students in the morning, participating in pep rallies, cheering at Notre Dame basketball games, as well as cheering on Sunburst runners at Notre Dame. Cheer isn't just cheer all the time. Our coaches really help shape us into leaders, the cheerleader part. I don't think I would be the student or the person I am without my coaches and without this team. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you.
And we have another moment of pride this evening. Mr. England.
Good evening, President Scott, members of the board, Dr. Huff. I am very excited this evening to present and ask those to come forward who are award winners for the Indiana CEC, Council of Exceptional Children. There were 10 awards statewide on Bloomington on March the 6th. Elkhart nabbed 3 of those 10 awards. Elizabeth Hosbach was named Advocate of the Year. I will share with you that Elizabeth could not be here tonight and was very torn, but her senior son said it is the very first day of track meets, and I would really like for you to be here. she also wants you to know it's really cold out there. So in true Elizabeth fashion, she really wrote a nice piece and said a nice piece about how much she enjoys servicing Elkhart Community Schools. She is one of our she is the lead interpreter, and she actually missed the awards ceremony in Bloomington because she attended a session here in Elkhart where she needed to do interpreting. The second award was Administrator of the Year. Mr. David Bird from the ETI was named Administrator of the Year for the state of Indiana. So I would like to turn this over to David.
Well, it's exciting to be Administrator of the Year for the entire state of Indiana. The real champion, the real winner is Aiden from Bristol Elementary. So I'm going to let Tony talk about Aiden because it's about him, not me.
So each year we have a back to school university, and we started a new tradition last year where each school nominates a Yes I Can award winner. And then we identify those students here locally. And then one of those students is sent to the state to be chosen, hopefully to be chosen as the state winner. And there is only one from all of the folks that are sent around the state. This year, Aiden is that young man. This is what was written about Aiden, and they were okay with me reading this. And you should know this is the nomination that went directly to those folks at the state level. Aiden was Bristol Elementary's Yes I Can award winner. According to Aiden's SLP, Nicole Spear, Aiden has been an absolute warrior the last 2 years, both academically and in speech therapy. He has made amazing gains with his speech, sound development. I'm amazed by his progress as well as his motivation and determination. Aiden is incredibly persistent in everything that he does. He works very hard on sending out words and sticks with it until he has grasp of the concept. When others have trouble understanding him, he is patient and tries to explain it another way, including using gestures. His confidence has increased over the course of the school year. He recently advocated for himself for an articulation goal to work on his counting and sounding out numbers correctly. He really enjoys math and excels in it, but he knows he can't sound out the numbers correctly, so that was something that was very important for him. By the way, I looked at his grades coming in. He's an honor roll student. This past November, Aiden was Bristol Elementary's 4th grade representative for the Kiwanis Award. Aiden's 4th grade teacher, Mr. Height, says that Aiden is a star student at Bristol Elementary. Even though the school doesn't always come easy, he puts forth his best effort on every assignment. Aiden asks questions when he doesn't understand and perseveres when work becomes challenging. He knows his education is important to success in life. Aiden is well on his way to achieving his educational goals. Please, with me, honor Aiden, the state CEC award winner. You guys want to stand at the podium? They may have a question or two.
It's a little anxiety. You'll be fine.
All right. So what do you think?
Come on.
I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't think he realizes what an accomplishment this is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's come a long way from where he began.
Big deal. You should be very proud,
Yes.
Aiden.
Very, very proud, Aiden.
Very proud of you.
As you, Grandma. You too. Very sweet. Nice job. You have a great principal and a great school. and
Bristol has been amazing to
Yeah.
us.
You like Bristol?
Yes.
Yeah, so being a pirate's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Bristol will always be our home.
What's your favorite video game?
Full night.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that? I'll do that all night, huh?
You,
We got some dances. That's right, Dave.
There's the arts.
Oh, good job, bud. I cannot do that. No.
You know where you're going to put your award? At your home?
I don't know.
You don't
We're
know?
still trying to figure out where we're going to put it on the wall.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Well, very good.
congratulations,
Very proud of
Aiden.
you.
Thank you very much.
And keep working hard.
Keep working hard. You will achieve your dreams.
Guys.
Items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Do we have any comments or discussion?
So first, just taking a minute, we do this, in any situation, but again, it's time to take a moment of silence, and it's for a man who, has touched so many lives, and you really begin to realize how valuable somebody is that comes in and serves our school and our community, and that's Mike Logan. And he was a substitute, well loved, but it was more than that. As I began to read different things about him, it's amazing how many things he's done for our school system and other school systems, and how loved he was. And so we just cannot be more appreciative. And when I started hearing stories from different staff members, we were very blessed to have Mike with our students at various times in the district. So if we could just take a moment of silence on behalf of his wife and his children and his daughter-in-law and the many lives that he touched. It's never easy to say goodbye to anybody, but what a wonderful, wonderful human being to have in our district. And I say that before we recognize a couple of people that also spent time in our district, and that's Jean Davidson at Pace in Special Ed, 32 years. She served our children, and Deborah Brick at Roosevelt Food Service Department, 36 years that she served our district. So happy retirement to both of you, and thank you for all of your service. Donations that we received a donation of a 2009 Ford 6.4 engine core. That has a value of $1,200, and that was from Michael Farms, and that will be used for our students to be able to break it down and get inside of that engine and figure out what makes it work. Unity Physicians Hospital gave us multiple donations of anesthesia circuits, drapes, and different items for training, which I cannot get over how much our medical facilities are serving that program at the Career Center. EEF donated $1,000 to Pierre Moran to continue on with their hoopla event. Unified Track received $1,000 from Brian Ketchum and Brian's Tree Service. And his son is actually a teacher in our district that works with Unified Track. And it's amazing how much love is inside of that track team. Linda Homo did a double donation. One was $4,000 specifically for the boys track, another $1,000 that was for boys and girls track. Passionately Purple donated $1,000 to boys track and cross country. And then boys and girls track benefited from $1,000 from First Federal Bank. So once again, we had amazing donations as we kick off our spring sports season, and also continued support for Pierre Moran and our Career Center. So thank you, community.
Kelly,
Yeah,
a job well done. I think you're getting better at it.
I am well versed. Just wait till I read this one at the end.
Very good. Any other comment on the consent items? I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have old business, Board Policy 9130, Public Complaints and Concerns. Mr. Thorne.
Thank you. President Scott, board members, Dr. Huff. Tonight, the administration is seeking approval of proposed Board Policy 9130. This proposed policy will, if approved, provide an orderly procedure for the processing of complaints and concerns related to school employees, instructional materials, and materials contained in our school libraries. This policy, if approved, would also supersede the provisions of current administrative regulation INB related to reconsideration of library materials. As you might recall, this was presented to the board a little over a month ago, and we're bringing it tonight for recommended board action.
Mr. Thorne, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion?
Yes, in light of, public comment this evening, I would like to table this until the April 23rd meeting, which is exactly about a month from now, in order to maybe perfect our policies and procedures and process a little bit greater, if that's possible and agreeable to the board. But that would be my motion.
We have a motion to postpone this to, what was the date?
April 23rd, next month.
April 23rd for further consideration. Do I have a second? I have a second. Based on, we got two
Need
motions.
to vote on that. Well,
Yeah.
I guess you could just, with
Yeah.
the motion to postpone consideration, the original motion for all practical purposes is moot with a vote on that motion, presuming the motion to postpone succeeds.
So this will be a vote on the second motion, postponing it to the date certain. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thus making the first motion mute.
See you in a month on that one.
Thank you, Mr. Thorne.
Next, we have new business and the financial report. Mr. White?
Good evening, President Scott, Board of Trustees, Dr. Huff. In regards to the financial report this evening, I would like to share that our cash balance is $46,590,888. Of note, in the operations fund, our expenditures were a little heavy. There's a few outstanding POs that we've expended in February, one of those being school buses that were on PO from 2022. So the supply chain's loosening up. But so there's some of those that have made that balance high. We'll continue to monitor that to make sure that that is not a trend moving forward. But I think some reasonable explanations for why we saw that. And that would conclude my comments around the financials. And I'd move on to the insurance update if there's no questions.
The buses, how many, that was from 2022, so how many others are we waiting on for 2023?
Great question. Mr. Scott, would you have an answer for that?
Could you please come to the microphone? I know
One
it's your
last
first time. I know it's your first time at a meeting, so, or possibly your last.
This will be my last. Good evening, Board, Mr. President and Superintendent Huff. We have purchase orders from December of 22. We ordered 12 buses. This was the first two that came in. They were transit buses. We have 12 more buses that we ordered, or 11 maybe, at the end of December of 23. So we actually, the supply chain, as Zach mentioned, is quite lengthy for school buses at this time. So we are waiting on a number of buses.
That was why I asked the question, to
Right.
try to figure out when they're going to come in, so.
So
All right, thank you. I knew you'd have the answers. All right, any other discussion from the board on the financials? All right, insurance.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, School Board of Trustees, and Dr. Huff. Our insurance experience has come back in line with what we had expected. I know last month it was a little higher than usual. That was from some run out of the previous year's plan, as well as switching some providers. But those numbers have come in lower, a little lower than expectations. So that's good. We're back on track. And the plan is performing well. So that concludes my comments on the insurance update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, Dora, do we have any? No comments from the audience or the public? Dr. Huff?
Good evening, members of the community, members of the board. Lots of positive things to share. First and foremost, I want to say I'm very proud of our outstanding students that we had in front of us tonight. It just warmed my heart to see the amazing that young man just do the dance in front of it. I can't even do it. My arms don't work that fast. And then Elena from the high school, just the leadership skills you can see in display, not just in her ability to present, but her ability to show this is what Elkhart can produce when we invest in our students. And I'm very proud of and look forward to seeing what she does in the future. I would also like to thank the board for their recent attainment of the commendable status by the Indiana School Board Association. The status is not just given. They had to go through rigorous professional development, training, and other leadership opportunities. So I just want to give a huge shout out to our board and thank you for your leadership in this area. I'd be remiss if I didn't have an opportunity to say a big congratulations to a retirement of one of our key cabinet members, Mr. Kevin Scott. It was nice to see you, and you got out of that podium very quickly for your last night. But he's been with Elkhart for a very long time. I don't know the exact number of years, but I can tell you I've been just very impressed with his professionalism, how he stewarded the district through some tough times, and he's also leaving us in very good shape. So, Kevin, well-deserved retirement. I'm pretty sure we'll see you around. Matter of fact, I do need to see you around tomorrow, but we will miss you. So congratulations on a retirement, well deserved. Also, I do want to echo on March 28th, we will have another presentation at the ETI building for the solar eclipse. So I look forward to seeing all our community members there. I will be there as well. So look forward to learning more from Dan Walsh about the amazing opportunity that we have for our students here and our teachers here in the district. I also want to give a shout out to a teacher in the district. Her name is Peggy DeLang. I hope I said that correctly. She was recognized by the IUSB as the 2024 recipient of the Leadership Excellence in Leadership Award for her work as a student, and she will be officially recognized by the university on May 1st. She works at our Early Career Center, working with our early students, so people who we want to make sure they are become Elkhart employees one day. So I'm just excited about her recognition, but also the work that she's doing with our students here. Last and certainly not least, teachers, please rest this spring break. I know that we have a lot of work to do when we get back, but the point of taking time away from school is to spend time with your loved ones and your family. So one, get through this week, but then two, make sure that you're enjoying that time next week and come back, relax and recharge for next week. And then I finally just want to share with you our next board meeting will be April 9th at Riverview. So please join us there. That starts at 7 p.m. I'm going to turn it over back to you, President Scott.
Thank you, Dr. Huff. Do we have any comments from the board?
Yes, I do. Last Saturday evening at the Fraternal Order of Police, the military group, our Air Force cadet wing had a dinner, dance, military formal ball, senior night, all kind of combined all into one and stuff. And 175 of Elkhart's finest were there. And I think they have a little comment to make here, if it would play. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Welcome, Dr. Huff! 1, 2, 3. Welcome, Dr. Huff! It was fun. Daisy was there. Kelly and her husband was there. Mike and his wife Heather were there, and Julie and I were there, and stuff like that. And it was very, very well attended, and it was something. If you ever get the chance to do it, well worth it. It's a riot. So thank you.
But we also have to acknowledge the speaker,
Oh,
which
yes.
surprised us, was our Maggie, who turns out was also attended military ball and was in the ROTC for 4 years in her high school. And we didn't get to see the pictures, but just so you know, there are pictures of Maggie in her fine dress and attire, but it was an excellent speech. It was wonderful to be able to relate like her role now, where she has been, what she has worked to be, where she is. And it was just I was looking around while listening to her, and these kids were not like looking at their watch and hoping that she would stop speaking anytime soon. They were thoroughly engaged. It was excellent, Maggie. You did a great job. And it was a wonderful surprise to see you there as our speaker and to learn that about you. I had no idea. So thank you very much for giving your time to that. And also, I got to take place in the employability panel. This is my third year doing that at the Career Center. And I have to share with you, Dr. Huff, this year, my students were unbelievable in their professionalism and their preparation and their ability to seek out what their future is going to be, all different schools, but recognizing what the Career Center has done for them, how they got there, why they were there, what they intend to do in the future. And my thing was, what will you bring back to the Career Center? How will you come back and mentor future students at the Career Center later on after you succeed? Like welcome them back and just saying, hey, this is a part of it. It changed my life, changed Mike's life. It's a life changer. So that, and then Aaron, all the wonderful things that you do, which leads me into this. If you go to the Elkhart Community School page and look up March 16th, you're going to hear Tracy Wyrick's amazing interview about what she does with our music program. And then furthering on again, here we are hitting it hard. Our middle school band, choir, and orchestra all earned gold or higher. Our Northside 7th grade orchestra hit gold, 8th grade gold. Northside band, gold with distinction. Then we had the Northside grade, the choir 7th grade, gold, 8th grade, gold. Pierre Moran 7th grade orchestra, gold, 8th grade, gold. Middle school band, gold. That was at Pierre Moran. West Side had 7th grade orchestra with gold, 8th grade with gold, West Side band with gold, West Side 7th and 8th grade choir with gold. Our winter percussion nailed it in their first preliminary, and they'll be hitting state finals on April 6th. And I also took a screenshot of the fact that they will have a community preview night on March 28th at 7 p.m. at the main campus gym. It is free admission. I thought this was cute. It says donations appreciated at the very bottom, and if you've never seen the winter percussion, I had the honor of 2 of my children being in it. It is outstanding. So again, I support our arts completely, and congratulations to all of our fine music and our leadership at that pathway at our high school. Okay. Did you get all that, Dorlin? Okay. Yeah.
I just want to point out that our students did so well that Kelly actually had to turn her paper to continue reading all the accomplishments. I thought that was great.
Like so. That's it. That is all.
I just want to give Aaron a shout out too. It is so refreshing to have you participate in the board meeting with talking about the excellence of Elkhart. So many times we come to the board meeting and all we hear are complaints and issues and unresolved items. And to see us pushing forward all of the positives that happen here on a daily basis and being able to share that with the community about what makes Elkhart exceptional and how that's going to be continuing to become more and more a theme in the future. Thank you and keep up the good work.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to lastly just thank Kevin Scott for the many years that you've given to this district. I want to thank you for your conservative fiscal agenda. Always being mindful of, how hard it has become to get public school funding and how important each dollar is. Each board packet, when I would get the financials and I would go through them, I went through them with a sense of, I wasn't looking for errors because I know that that's not what you do. You look over them, you present it, and it's right. And so I appreciate that, but I also appreciate the fiscal condition you are leaving the school district in very, very challenging times for public schools and the funding we get now. So thank you very much for your service here. You've done great things. You've positioned the district to do greater things in the future. You're only a phone call away, and we know that. And you've had an opportunity to work with Zach and show him, what it takes to be successful. So, my confidence in Zach is starting here based on, the opportunity you've had to work with him to this date. So, Zach, huge shoes. Huge.
He's getting it.
I feel very confident in your ability. So, Kevin, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Speech.
Got nothing else, and Kevin, you don't want to take the opportunity to, Okay.